Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, SA City families. I'm not sure when you're going to be able to watch this video, but thank you so much for the opportunity to be able to share some thoughts and reflections on our Boys ECNL program up to date. Today is April 12th, 2021. Thought this would be a good time to release the video as the majority of our high school players are back from their seasons. We still have a few more out there at Lee High School. Good luck tomorrow against Jersey Village in the state semifinals. Congratulations to all the high school players that competed. SA City players, ECNL players performed super well. We got to see quite a few games, and you can see that they're a cut above the rest in terms of leadership, performance, character, and so we're very proud of you all. Today's video is a first installment of a three-part series. Today we'll cover the state of the program review. Video 2 will cover and share a little bit of our secret sauce in terms of decision making and some of the methods we use to develop game intelligence. And video 3 will cover a fall 2021 ECNL national and regional team outlook and process for us. Some very exciting content coming out. So today's content will cover year 1 objectives, performance process and metrics, and then ironclad program standards. Before we could create objectives, I have to be quite honest that it was a whirlwind of a fall season. COVID protocols, adding a new training session, an extra training session to the week for players and for coaches, dealing with new software and adapting new systems and processes to TGS and to matches and game cards and the instat box scores, the individual player analysis software that we use, also VO and making sure that the cameras are there, the recording, and that we got good video footage for our coaches and players to be able to analyze our performances. So some of the other things that we looked at in the year 1 analysis were league standings for all the age groups, goals for, goals against. This is the first metric that you use in performance analysis for soccer. Also meaningful games. So games that are 4 goals or more difference is a non-meaningful game for us. And so we took a look at that alongside, did the score line reflect the performance? So we did a good evaluation on that. We took a look at also our player pool. So where were our players coming from? Which parts of South Texas? And they're from all over. We're getting the best of the best, which is great. Depth chart, we created depth charts for all the teams, positional depth charts as well. We looked at birthdays, quartile birthdays to see if any relative age effect, any type of late maturity, early maturity was involved or is affecting the players and their current performances. We also gathered some information on opposition club trends. We see some clubs have quite a few similarities within their teams. And so we want to be able to gain a competitive advantage and be able to analyze those and prepare our players for the future, for future success. One of the things we looked at was where our goals were coming from. So this is an example of a goal chart here that we did for the 02-03s, 25 goals scored in the league. And you can see we got in very good locations. The Navy circles there, 4 penalty kicks. And the telling stat was, one, we were getting into good areas. The assists came from a lot of different locations, which is good. We're moving the ball around well. And the one-touch finishes, 80% were one-touch finishes. And this is in line with high-level soccer. And this helps us with our training environment. We have to create training environments where players have a lot of people in their way, and they have to look to be able to finish one touch if it's available, or they're going to get closed down quickly and not going to be able to get the shot off. So after we did our analysis, these are the 5 objectives that I put together for the program. 1 is to establish ourselves as the preeminent ECNL program in San Antonio. I think we're well on our way. It's in progress, but going well. The second thing was to develop high performance standards and build processes to support these endeavors. We want to be process oriented. and not outcome oriented. We need to create a process for long-term learning, long-term development. And so we've started to document some of these things and be a little bit more explicit with our work, provide a quality training environment and game hosting environment. Our game hosting environment is one of the best in the league. We're very proud of that. We get a lot of positive feedback from the visiting clubs. And the training environment needed to have more intensity and needed to be more objective in terms of the training content that we were giving to the players. Create a program identity that fits our city and player pool. So we talked to a lot of parents, we've talked to coaches, players, and what resonates with San Antonio, what resonates with the culture of San Antonio. We try to create an identity for that hardworking, diverse, together, and we want to see that come out in our performances and on the field. So with that, we want to impose this club identity in our games. So performances over results. In the youth space, in the youth soccer space, we have to focus on performances, and we have to educate our players so they improve and get better, so they learn the game. We do not play meaningless kickball. We play with a purpose, and we play with intelligence. So ideally, yes, we would like to get to a point where our performances get us good results. So part of the team identity, also, we have to look at the psychological aspect of high performance athletes. We have to be able to maintain emotional control, players and staff. So this is a little diagram here that was created to reflect that. So from minute 0 to minute 86, we assume 40-minute halves, 3 minutes extra time given. So from 0 to 86, we have to be in control. No blaming, no negativity, no fussing about, no quitting, no surrendering. We have to be able to impose our identity on the opposition. When the going gets tough, we ask them to reflect on the performance targets and the moments of the game, which I'll share with you here in the next slide. So this is how we're going to do that. We're going to be very clear with our way of playing and our performance targets. We have to be able to have the mental fortitude to think next action, think next play. So the teacup is a reference to Clive Woodward, the famous England men's national rugby coach. So thinking correctly under pressure. We have to create training environments and training sessions that get the players in realistic pressure so they know what to do when the going gets tough, right? And come out on the positive end. They know how to respond in a positive manner. So this is what high performance athletics requires and mindset requires. So we look at our team performance index in the 4 moments of the game: attacking organization, defensive transition. So we've just lost the ball. Defensive organization. Now we've got ourselves organized, hopefully behind the ball, and make it very tough to get through us and to score. And then attacking transition. When we win, what do we do with that? And then how do we organize our attacks so we can score a lot of goals? So we've developed targets. So this is an example of one. This is an attacking transition that might be used for one of the teams. 75% of third pass completion. So when we win the ball, can we connect 3 passes right away? Establish team shape, establish organization, establish control over the game. We want to be a team that controls the ball, dominates the ball. And so we create key words. So we have clarity in the message and clarity in the understanding in the moments of the game. So it's very, very powerful process. And we're already seeing some great performances there. We see this team identity roll out in 3 stages. Probably each stage could be anywhere from 3 to 6 months, depending on how the team is learning. So stage 1 is learning to perform. We're learning these moments of the game. We're learning and creating this common language and vocabulary amongst ourselves. Stage 2, you'll start to see improved performances because they're learning more and learning more. And stage 3, consistent performances there for our teams. And that's where hopefully we get the results that we all want based on great performances and understanding of what we want to do and how we want to play our game. Every Monday, we review the game performances. So from system matchups to any performance problems in the attacking organization, defensive organization, excuse me, and also looking at individual performances as well, and maintaining conversations on our players. Standards of excellence. We did not have any standards written out, and they were not documented. They were not explicit. So we've taken the time to do that. So standards create habits, and the habits create outcomes. We see ourselves as mountain people. We love the climb. This is our mindset. We love the journey. We love the challenge. And we look forward to climbing this mountain with you and being on this journey with you for many years to come. And then there's going to be other mountain ranges for us to climb as we go as well. A working definition we use within the program is a standard is a repeatable, harmonized, agreed, and documented way of doing something. We have 3 intersecting timescales and rhythms over the course of the season. So an annual rhythm, a monthly rhythm, and a weekly rhythm. So I hope you guys appreciate that we put an annual calendar out for you this season. A call out here that we're going to be starting as a habit and as a tradition for our teams is the first practice of the month. We'll have a street soccer tournament within the teams. Feel free to pause this video at any moment and take a look at the full list. We will put this out in a separate document so you guys can review and sign. These are the standards for our players. Okay, so we've divided it in 3 buckets: a practice, game day, and a lifestyle. A couple call outs here would be for practice: earn your game time. You got to train the way you're going to play. You got to train with intensity. You got to train with 100% commitment and competitive fire. Game day, got to compete, and we got to look to impose our style of play, our identity on our opponents. Okay. The couple in the lifestyle, the asterisks and reflection and mindfulness, these are highly recommended. The staff felt it was important to write down, but those are recommended things: reflection and mindfulness. These are the standards for the coaches, quite an extensive list. This is a full-time job to be a national program head coach. And a couple call outs here that you'll see would be pregame, chat with the parents. So when the referees are checking in the parents, the coach will walk over to the sideline of the parents and let you guys know what our performance objectives are for that season. How did the training week go, right? So can we connect training to the match? Can we connect training to the performance? For parents, here are the expectations and the standards. A couple call outs here. We don't have a big problem with this, but it's the sideline conduct, but just it's always good to have a refresher. It's positive behavior for both teams. Let's create a nice climate for the players and then allow players to make their decisions. We need them to be autonomous. They need to make their decisions, right, under pressure, in the moment. And the more that we talk to the players, the more that they're distracted and likely that they're not going to make the good decisions that they need to be making. The other call out here would be commitment. This is a high performance national program. 100% commitment is required, right? You have to be able to attend all program events. Team admin. Some of these are new for the team admin, so Shu's going to have to train the team admins here going forward and to support them. We've also been very explicit with a new communication protocol. So if there's any type of grievance, player coach related, please contact the coach directly. Speak to the head coach first. We do have a 24-hour cooling off period. Try to set up a meeting face to face, right? We're here to support. We're here to make things great for your player. And for some reason, if the grievance is not resolved, then feel free to contact myself as the ECNL director. And if that's not resolved with me, then we can move it up the line of communication to the director of coaching and then to the club president if needed. Admin uniform related issues, please contact Shu directly. Her email is there in the slide. And then financial, club dues, financial assistance, please contact our finance director, Don Aldretti, for any assistance in that regard. We really appreciate you taking the time.
Excuse me, boss. You have a text message.
Really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Thank you so much for being on this ECNL journey for us. Year one, it's been very exciting, a lot of learning, and we look to a fantastic spring season as we get started here against Albion this weekend. Have a good day.